Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Playing On Podcast. My name is Carl Markowski, and thank you for joining me. This episode is brought to you by Charm City Paintball. Headgear up the wazoo. They have headbands, head wraps. He makes pack bands for myself, along with many others. But everything, like I've said before, man, everything is like usually 10 runs or less. It's very high quality fabric, tough stuff. He makes headbands and head wraps with ripstop material, old school look for sure. There's no sublimation, there's no printing, no nothing like that. Everything is nice cloth fabric that is durable and looks damn cool. I'll tell you that. I have a pack band right now, which is actually a headband, but it's all individually sewn in stars and stripes of an American flag on my pack right now, and I wear it with pride. I know it took a long time to make that thing, and I think it's amazing, and I'm proud to wear that thing on there. But if you guys would like to see any of his work, go ahead and look Mike up at Charm City Paintball on Facebook, along with Instagram, and he's always posting up new fabrics and new headbands or head wraps that he is making. And he also does custom stuff as well. So he loves to collaborate and make sure the customer's happy. So make sure you give him a shout and grab some sweet headgear. So thank you to Charm City. We're also brought to you by ckfightlife.com, where if you just head over there, you can find all you need as far as paintball gear, along with jiu-jitsu gear, and also laser engraving for your paintball marker fanatics out there. If you have a stock marker that needs a little flair, you can send it over to CK Fight Life, and they will laser the crap out of it and make it something unique and sweet. They have all kinds of stuff as far as designs go, and you can make it one of a kind. I mean, that's what everybody wants. Everybody wants something unique, and CK Fight Life can do that for you. But if you're looking for pants or packs or jerseys or anything in that nature too, they have all kinds of paintball gear. And also, if you are into jiu-jitsu, which I suggest 100% everybody out there try. It's a great conditioning, but also it's great conditioning for your brain. I mean, just your mental tenacity to be able to step on that mat is huge, and I am a giant supporter of CK Fight Life in that nature. I think jiu-jitsu is amazing, but paintball is amazing as well. So they make great product everywhere and all around. So make sure you check them out. And if you want to give them a call, 951-219-5045, and ask for Tony. And tell them that Carl from the Playing On Podcast sent you. And maybe they'll hook you up with something. Maybe. You got to give them a call, though. Check them out, ckfightlife.com. And we are also brought to you by Planet Eclipse from the UK, who has made an impact in this sport like none other. I believe that they are the #1 marker manufacturer, or at least the #1 marker that is shot in the NXL. If in paintball, tournament style in general. I don't want to make the assumption. I'm assuming, because all I see is people shooting those things, whether it be the Geo series or the CS series, which, as a lot of you know probably, that they have the Aftershock CS2 out, which is sick. But the biggest platform for me has been the LV series, and some people have shot it and said, oh, it drops off, and then some people say, it doesn't fit for me, but I say it fits perfect, and the shot is great, and it's smooth, and it's buttery, and it's everything that I look for. And there's not much more I could say, because you got to go out there and you got to shoot it yourself, and then let me know what you think. but I suggest them anyway. I mean, Planet Eclipse all around is an amazing company. And you can check all of their soft goods out with shirts, packs, jerseys and all that, and pants and all that good stuff at planeteclipse.com, and just keep an eye out for all their custom markers as well. So thank you to all of our sponsors. Now into the podcast with Dimitri. This thing is, I think we had a really deep conversation and a really good and open conversation. I think this is you can really see that him and I see a lot of things on the same level, and I mean, obviously it's not always interesting when two people agree on everything, but I think it was, as far as this goes, it's interesting because the demographic of where he came from, along with myself. He's like 24 and I'm 32, so there's a big gap there. But I feel like, you know, because of how young he started playing, he matured paintball wise very young, and you know, I think he sees the sport for what it really is and what it could be. So I think it was a great conversation, but I tend to rant, so I will shut up and hope you enjoy the podcast with Demetrius Ninios. Yeah, Bart the other day, like at the very last
awesome
minute.
One.
Oh, thank you.
Awesome one. Yeah.
It turned out way better than what I thought it was going to do.
That was awesome. He shared his honest opinion on things, and I actually was like totally in support of almost everything.
I wish everybody would say that. I thought we had such good ideas that would like it would challenge the player again. And the biggest thing for me, right, is, and I think we've talked about this before, is that right now it is so easy to be a paintball player. In the fact that it's like, and again, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I don't give a fuck. It's like there are no skills involved besides, like right now, a lot of the best players have timing, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of on this one pedestal, and then it drops right down to kind of everybody else. Like that pedestal is the timing. But I feel like back then, if you were a good gunfighter, or if you could control a lane with one hand in semi-auto, and like now anybody can do that. Like anybody can do it. So it's not. And people are, well, you know, shooting your gun fast is not a skill. I was like, have you ever done it before? You've probably never done it before.
Have you accurately run shot somewhere and shot a guy? Like, have you really done that? Or have you just done it and not shot a guy? Like, have you just done it and, you know, trolloped out there? Or actually, have you shot that guy and your paint goes exactly where it needs to? Yeah. You know, those are all interesting things. Interesting things people need to ask themselves before they have an opinion. Mm-hmm. No, especially these people of generations that weren't of old. Because what you're saying is true. It's like everything's leveled. Like there's a balance now. Or like in video games, when they go back and re-level everything out, that's like where we're at right now. Yeah. The people that are great because of timing. And we were fortunate to be of an era where like that was trained. Almost trained. I mean, it was definitely like unique, but you know, you're in more situations where your timing advantage can show. Yeah. Now the timing advantage is so minimal. Where when you see it happen, it is the elite. It is the most elite moves that are being made. But I don't know. It's kind of like college football versus the NFL. Like NFL is crazy accuracy, and like for a lot of seasons you don't see like insane things. Now receivers are big in NFL again because that's like highlight reel worthy. Mm-hmm. But the league used to be running back worthy. You know how the league changes in that way. That's where paintball is kind of going. Where I don't know. The greats, the Tom Brady's, the Fedorovs, they really show. Yeah. There's reasons why you don't see those other big moves from everybody anymore. Right. Well, I think that the average bar is now just kind of, I don't know. See, that's the thing. I don't know if the average bar raised or lowered. You know what I mean? Because of this, it's funny. this line that we've like, well, if everybody ramps, everybody's on the same platform and nobody can cheat. I was like, I understand where you're coming from, but at the same time, it's like you're taking a certain skill away that if you can't shoot an autococker fast, then then what happens? Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Which I can't. I'm terrible. We got the new Planet Eclipse G-Met cocker out there for you. Shout out to Planet Eclipse.
Oof.
Plug.
There you go. Little plug. So how you doing, man?
Good. Just moving into my apartment, working out. Yeah, motivated to play paintball. It's cool.
Hell
cool
yeah.
feeling.
Yeah, you were telling me in Vegas that it's kind of been a while that you were motivated this much at least to play paintball.
Yeah, well, your intent, right? Your intent's like everything you do, and I think now I'm in a place where I have honest intent with what I'm doing with the game, and like it just feels honest again. Not saying that what I did wasn't dishonest or anything shady was going on. It's just my motivation is different. I was trying to see how far I could go financially, and everyone always talks about how you shouldn't do that. And
your priorities were just a little shuffled.
Yeah, they're different. I wanted to go play with my friends and play for money, and I thought you couldn't go wrong there. And I learned you can. You totally can go wrong there. But I think I was already in a position to make weird decisions like that with the game because I felt like it owed me something. And that's like a young, like talented kid or just a young kid in general who's good at something, thinking, it's time for the game to give back. And I learned the game never does give back. And so that's where I'm at. So I'm cool. I learned all those lessons in this offseason and before, but it's cool to be in this place with you guys, passionate people. And so the fire is definitely more so there than in previous years.
Well, it's good to hear, man. And, I think, honestly, everybody goes through that in their own way, whether or not they admit it. I really do, because I went through the same thing, man. When I played for Avalanche and then I began to get a regular paycheck to play paintball, what? And after I started getting it, I was like, well, of course I deserve this. You know what I mean? I'm me. I am who I am, so I deserve.
That's standard.
Yeah, and what happened is that I think when I kind of plateaued, I don't want to say plateaued, but when I got to that point, it was like, okay, well, I deserve this because I worked my ass off. In reality, we are constantly working our ass off, and and when I got to that point, it was like, okay, I don't need to, I got to this point now. I made my dream, come true of getting paid to do what I love to do. Now I can let go. I can let off the gas a little bit. I don't have to, the drive and the desire doesn't have to be there as much. And that is what inevitably led me to have that hiatus of like 3 years because my heart wasn't in it anymore. I wasn't hungry anymore. And I know exactly what you went through, man. I can definitely relate to that.
Yeah. And I think, maybe that was the right decision. Maybe I should have done that because I had that weird feeling of, where's my heart now? And that was 3 years ago, 2015 Dallas last PSP tournament.
The muddy one.
And the muddy one. And I think everybody had a moment there. But I think I should have probably walked away then and just stopped. But I'm also really stoked for everything that occurred. And that's just like a testament to just do what you want to do and don't look back. Just keep going.
Yeah.
Because I'm stoked. Like the position that our relationship that's developed as of late has been really, really cool. And then Aftershock in general with Bruno and Rennick and everybody else, those are moments that like little kid Dimitri is like stoked about,
Yeah.
And then adult Dimitri is like, all right, let's make something of it. So I appreciate everything. And the funny thing is the grind that we're referring to for people that are listening, it's like, this is the whole journey, like all the way through. It's like peaks and valleys, but you never get to experience either one of those things unless you just go for whatever whatever it is you want.
Right.
Whether it's right or wrong. So closing outro.
Well, no, it's cool because, let's see. Well, we officially started actually talking and like hanging out and actually getting to know each other. I wouldn't even say really. Well, yeah, I would say it because we had that sit down at practice at AC, and we kind of first off, I really want to kind of figure out who you were. Like I'm a big person on first impression, and really the first hour of being around a person because obviously there is first impression with people, but I think it's also first impression is also a mask at the same time.
Totally.
You know, because you don't know, you want to try and be yourself, but you also want to try to fit in at the same time. So you don't know what to do. Everybody's like, "Oh, be yourself." I was like, well, if yourself is kind of something that doesn't really fit right away, you might want to ease in a different way, or whatever.
Yeah.
So I think a huge thing for me and you was that sit down chat that we had just about really anything and everything that we were just talking about paintball related. It was like, oh yeah, this is fucking great. This is working out.
Gloves off. Let's go. You know? And that's the way it should be. It should always be like that, where you're able to just be like, all right, this is where we're at, and just like be open about every bit of it, and then be yourself. Yeah, totally. Mm-hmm. That conversation did make everything good.
Yeah.
As far as us, really, it's not about what happens on the field. It is to a degree, to a huge degree. But small conversations like that can open up parts of players, parts of relationships in general.
Yeah.
Detrimental to teams, to being a winning team. That conversations like that are big.
Oh, absolutely. Off the field chemistry, just directly correlates to on field chemistry, I feel. And trust and all that shit that goes in with it. And next thing you know, you're going to a haunted museum and
yeah, but that's the thing that a lot of people don't recognize, because it wasn't like a big one. I didn't even know what I was doing, but what happened for us is I came to one day of practice the Sunday before the tournament,
mm-hmm.
and we had that one day for me to be like, hey, Aftershock, this is who I am, these are all the skeletons in the closet, this is what I've been through, and I don't know if I want to do this. And you guys were just like super open to listening, and then also contributing back and like sharing everyone's story. Everybody shared their personality and their story up front with me, and it was like, perfect, that's where we're at. All right, let's go play this tournament, And then it was cool. It was a cool thing that we did.
Yeah, no, I think it even helped. Even with I wouldn't even call it a disappointing showing in Vegas. I think it was very, very productive. If you don't look at the numbers, or fuck it, even if you do, because I know what it was for us.
yeah, we were winning.
Yeah, fuck. I mean, if you look at it, even in the impact match, I mean, I was talking with Bruno about this, and he goes, the first three, the first point was obviously ours. We were in it the next two. And I think I have to go back and watch it, but I think we got a penalty or something, or something happened, and it was just kind of a momentum swing.
I think I may have gotten the penalty. I can't remember which. Yeah, either way, there was a shift. We were in the first 3 points, and then there was a shift. But that's the story of pretty much all the matches. We won the first point of, I think, every match except for one. Mm-hmm. And then from there, like, we're still in a lot of them. But yeah, it was a good tournament. And people that don't, it's so hard to get across what's a good tournament if you're not winning, right? To like 90% of people, they don't understand what it is. And it's like, well, kind of harping, like, just to highlight, we introduced 2 guys to this team, Paxton and myself, 1 practice total for us and the rest of you guys. And we're trying to figure out this personality role and, mm-hmm. all this stuff's going on. So our results were huge because we got to figure out what we want to do. Yeah. And now we have all right, first event, we know how we want to attack this. And now we have the whole season to combat it. So, yeah, I'm super stoked about the results. Obviously, you want to go out there and do well and put on and play like 100% to your ability and the 4 guys next to you, but mm-hmm. that's not pro paintball. Like, you have to earn that. You have to earn that right with the guys next to you before you can even earn it on the field against 5 other guys, You have to earn the right next to each guy next to you, but.
Yeah, and it's a respect thing too. For I respected you and Pax coming in, and I felt like I received the same amount of respect, and I think the other guys on the team did as well. Even though they're not as they're not as experienced guys, but I think the respect factor was there, which is a huge thing because some guys come on teams and they're like, this is how it is, this is who I am, whether you like it or not. I'm fucking better than everybody here, blah blah blah. And it's so hard to fit a puzzle piece like that into all the other puzzle pieces. And the reception was great. If everybody goes off just the record that we had, the 1-3, I mean, everybody like, whoa, you guys sucked. I was like, okay, well, 2 of those games we lost by 1 point and could have easily gone the other way.
Yeah.
And
well, even then, the funny argument always is, well, you guys didn't move on to Sunday. Well, for sure. But we're also not going to win the tournament, There's a reason we didn't move on to Sunday. It's because we weren't ready to win the tournament. So if you move on to Sunday and you're not going to win the tournament, then it doesn't make you any, in my head, it doesn't really matter. Because I've been on teams where we didn't make, barely made cuts, like Xfactor 2013. We barely made the cut to Sunday, but at least we still made the cut, and then we're there to win the tournament, the following day.
You start the tournament over at that point.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Yeah, we lost the first part of the tournament. The fate was already, predetermined before we had to go through all of the theatrics of Sunday. And you get different results that way. If we moved on Sunday, that first tournament, I don't think it's a positive thing for the state of our team.
Yeah.
And people are going to listen to that and think that's ludicrous. But if you don't know team dynamics, just please trust me. Trust me.
Yeah, the conversations we had because we didn't make Sunday. And the chemistry that was built because we didn't make Sunday was huge.
It's important.
It was huge.
It's important. It's gonna be huge.
It's gonna be huge. Yeah, man. So let's kind of delve into your paintball history and your background, and not even just your paintball background, but your where you came from and what you're all about and everything. So what part of the states are you from?
I was born in La Jolla, California, and I grew up there for a little bit until I was about 8, and then moved to my mom and dad got relocated, moved to Dallas, and grew up there. Started playing paintball there. So that's where I'm from. I come from Texas, and
fun fact: you are best friends or really good friends with Post Malone.
Yeah. We went to high school together. We've hung out a number of times since he's Post Malone. I knew him as Austin Post. Austin Post and I were cool. But this Post Malone character, he's wild. It's crazy.
he's a character, man. That's for sure.
Yeah. No, I love him. He's awesome. And that's another cool thing because that was another guy who just did what he wanted to go do. And the conversations that he and I have had, and not to be like the reason Post Malone is Post Malone, but just seeing especially growing up with people that are chasing their own deals, like their own passions, is huge. And so at the time, before paintball, I was really into music, and I'm still into music, but I was really into making music and like the hardcore rock like scene, punk kid, and so was he. And so there was a parallel there. And then when I started getting into paintball, and he found Guitar Hero, we both kind of went on our own paths, but we both just stayed committed. And I had early success. I had success at a way younger age, relatively to him, because he had success when he was 19. I had my success when I was 15. So achieving that was cool. And then, now seeing him go on to do greater things is crazy too. So it inspires me to be a better player and a better person in general.
Yeah,
so,
maybe we can have you both on the podcast later in the year.
Yeah, that'd be huge for his social media.
And then he can start playing paintball and everything, and then we'll make paintball huge.
Yeah, he doesn't like getting shot. He's not big on it. But.
He's like, no, not happening.
But anyway, to tie that off, it's cool if you have a passion or anything. Like you're into jiu-jitsu now, like you got to have people around you to support that, and through paintball, you're gonna meet other people to go do other cool things, support people. And then, my relation's only so relative, but that dude's Post Malone. Like people will know Post Malone.
Yeah.
You gotta support people.
Hell yeah. Well, that I've always said too. You don't become who you are just simply by yourself. I mean, there's no matter what tragedies you've gone through. Or at least the experiences that I've gone through, there's always have been somebody that has gave me at least good advice, or directed me in a direction that I could take a step forward instead of 2 steps back. Like whether it be my parents, my friends, a stranger, somebody. There's always somebody there helping you, and you got to believe that everybody that's on top, they didn't do that by themselves. I mean, they were a big part of it, don't get me wrong, but it's all about who you know and how you are, I think.
Totally. I support that. I'm with that. But yeah. But following my relationship with Post Malone, I started playing paintball when I was around 10 years old. Started playing competitively at like 11, 12.
Like that quickly? You jumped into it?
Yeah. Oh my God. It was like 1, 2, 3 times. Tippmann 98. Done deal. All right. Let's get like a DM4 in this. Like, let's fire this thing
let's
up.
Let's get this going.
Yeah. And yeah, it's crazy looking back because it seems like a whole nother lifetime.
Yeah.
But it was insane coming up in that era, because it was the era that you were successful, like not successful, but that you were an idol, right? You were playing for Excessive when I was like getting into it. I remember going Tippmann Effect and then Excessive, and like it's just crazy to look at everything now. But,
I was still a baby then, thinking about it.
Yeah, it's like, whoa, this is wild.
Yeah.
And then my story, like looking back to see where I am now, is just, it's been a wild road. I don't even know where to go from there.
So was it just you that was getting this deep into paintball, or did you kind of discover it with friends or anything?
I hated the idea of paintball initially. Didn't like it. I was into skating. I was into video games. That was like my deal. Paintball, for whatever reason, just wasn't my thing until I had to go to my best friend's birthday party. And you know how that is. If you don't go to the best friend's birthday party, you're blackballed from your friend group, and then you grow up without any friends. It's awful.
Yeah.
So I went to the paintball party and loved it, like die hard into it. And my dad, my best friend Nico, and his dad Yuki, we all played. No, I wish. Nico Nakamura, high school, or like a school friend, neighborhood friend. But so we went out as like a little squad, like dads and kids, and it was cool. We went 2 times, and then I never saw or heard from anybody but myself to return to the paintball field. But it started out with friends, and then it just became like, I don't know. I was just addicted. Just paintball. That was it. Took over basketball, football, music, every other priority for like 10 years. It was paintball. But the people that kept me going, early on I met TJ Danner, Hamilton Wharton, who's not really playing anymore, Ashton Johnson, who used to play for Xfactor. So that was like my little, our little crew.
Yeah.
But as far as going along playing paintball, it was just TJ and I for the longest time. Like North Texas didn't have that much paintball going on. There wasn't Greg Pauly around to like have an organization, so I had to leave my like grassroots TJ, Ashton, Hamilton, like local scene early on, and go play North Carolina and go out of state to play paintball. And that's really when things got serious, I'd say. Before it was a hobby to me. It was a hobby I took like super seriously. And then when I started going out of state and committing to it around 2009, like really being like, all right, you're going to do this and you're going to work out and you're going to make connections. You're going to figure out a way to play paintball at a high level. And it started through like networking on Xbox Live and just talking to like kids, just random kids and what's crazy now is because that was when MySpace was around.
Yeah.
So I don't even know what's like with Facebook, like how easy it would be to like connect with people.
Oh, I know, right?
So now when I hear people talk about like paintball being hard, I'm like, oh my God. You have no clue. I'm just lightly going over like key moments. It's just like,
So what was the first like serious team that you got on?
I don't have any ranking at this point in my career. I played in a ton of local tournaments and won a ton of local tournaments, but never a national tournament. The one national I played in 2007, I played for a Division II team that was realistically just like a team thrown together out of money just to see where these guys stood. And it was a bunch of grown men and then me, like a 13-year-old. And we were playing Division II Open against Vicious. Our draw was Vicious, the Jesters, I think Shot Kids or Denver Altitude, one of the blue dye teams, and somebody else. And that was like my intro, and it was like domination, right? Just getting worked. But so first team, I went to a tryout, and the team was called Raiden. And they were like a Division II team at the time. But anyway,
out of Texas?
Tryout, out of North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Yeah. And so I got this tryout at North Carolina. I'm a 14-year-old kid. They don't really know anything about me. I don't really know anything about these guys. It's just like I got my foot in the door.
Yeah.
And my foot in the door is Matt Sossman, which is a name drop. But yeah, so I show up to this tournament, 13 years old, and it's all kind of a blur, really. Like, it happened. I made the team, but there was a bunch of drama going on.
Yeah.
I can't remember all the details, unfortunately. But made the team, and then we started training for World Cup immediately. And then what was going on is I was flying back and forth like Monday, and then like I fly back home Monday to leave Thursday. Getting out of high school and like, you know, skipping class, doing everything, buying flights, really like shady stuff, like lying to everybody about what I'm doing because I was hell bent on playing this damn game at a high level.
Yeah.
And you know, 3 weeks leading into it, we're training every weekend into World Cup. Excuse me, I'm totally blowing the time frame of things.
That's all right. It was a long time ago.
It was so long ago. Anyway, we play World Cup, and the people on the roster are amazing people. Heyman, Chapman, Kyle Flores, the Geigers, Matt Sossman, myself, and that was our team. And it was like, you know, pretty much X Trauma versus featuring 13-year-old or 14-year-old kid from Texas. Like, and that was the pitch, and it went great, and we won.
Yeah.
And we shit out of everybody. No one even came close to us. And my parents came to that tournament, and we were playing Division I, and that's when everything like opened up. That's when like Meter was kind of created, I guess. That's when like the persona, paintball persona was created. And since that moment, things moved really fast, and it's been great. The relationships I've had, there's been so many like people involved in it. I'm sure with you too. Like, there's just so many people that are involved in your journey.
Oh yeah.
That it's hard to mention everybody, but thinking of every one of you, it's just hard.
Yeah. Well, there's a ton of people, like, you know, just offhand, you know, there's if I didn't know my coach from Tip and Effect as well as I did, I never would have moved out to Seattle and worked at the indoor field there to even have a tryout or try and get a tryout with the Naughty Dogs, which ended up actually being a tryout for Excessive. And, you know, just something simple as that, because then people are like, well, didn't Rich Telford, you know, well, that wouldn't even happen if it wasn't for my coach from Timid Effect, and that wouldn't even happen if my parents didn't let me play paintball at Toledo Indoor. So it's like, and then it comes right back around to everybody's, you know, there's so many people involved in your success.
So hard to retell like your own story, and that's what's always funny about these paintball stories. Like, how'd you come up? How do we do the Spark Notes version of this? Because even the Spark Notes is like mega threads of stuff. Like, oh, jeez. All right. But yeah, so that's like when it all really took off for me. Unfortunately, Raiden didn't ever, the money guy, Peter Couture, got out of it right pretty much in the offseason after we won World Cup. Dude, if we were able to keep that team together, we would have been a really, really strong pro team. Because, I wish I could have seen like the way that road would have gone.
Yeah.
But we all broke apart, and it was like the team that never was, as far as like amateur teams.
Yeah.
And then from there, Matt Sossman and I like kind of like a package deal, kind of how Paxton and I are right now. It's like together we'll do anything.
Yep.
We went and played for the Jesters for a number of years and had a ton of success with them, and the relationships there were incredible. Timmy, Trent Cost, and Dylan, and all just everybody from that organization. What they provided me was awesome. And but another off topic, not really, but the funny thing is, like, people always talk about, you know, you're always jumping around from team to team or whatever. But the thing is, most of the times, the opportunity like is gone that was there, or like, you know, lack of, you know, agenda or at least accountability on deal being made. Right. That's a lot of motivation for my careers or stints being in places, like not lasting long, or just the money, running out of money.
Yeah.
I've been a part of tons of teams where there just wasn't money to support the players or even the team because they're trying to support the players. And it's like this weird balance of, it's sad to see things not last. Because I'm looking back, I'm like, man, all these teams don't exist anymore.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. And, it's everybody goes through all these different stages in their life, too, outside of paintball, which does affect, sometimes where you play or who you play for. And like New York Excess Energy.
Yeah.
When I was playing with Maddie and Micah and all those guys, it's like, that team would have been an amazing team. The Avalanche team that I played for, that had Brandon Mayo, Danny Chiljak, Roger Henn, all those, dude, that was a sick team.
Yeah, and that team was dope.
But paintball teams are like bands. I feel
they are like bands.
Very similar. It's like they have these hits and these great songs. Maybe not a great album, but they have a couple hits, and then it's like, all right, well, where do we go from here? Because you're going through a bunch of shit. I'm going through all this shit. He's going through all that shit. And it's like, all right, well, let's go our separate ways. And I got to continue doing this. So,
yeah. No, that's exactly how it goes. But
so when that whole thing broke up, where were you at? Were you immediately with Sauceman, like searching for a new team to play for? Were you wanting to go pro at this time?
When Raiden broke up, it was like pretty quick. We were on the Jesters, and then,
that's right. Sorry.
Yeah,
short-term memory's gone.
No, it's totally fine. But yeah, so immediately we went to the Jesters and we played for them for a number of years. And then here's another thing you have to keep in mind is ultimately the goal at that time is to go pro. Like that's what I wanted to do, and that's what Paxton wanted to do. And so Sauceman. We were building teams to do that. We built Raiden to do that, and
Paxton's always on my mind too, man.
I know, dude. Paxton, he's never like out of the frontal lobe of my mind.
I'm always I always do this. I'm always like,
you have to be aware. You never know if it's gonna be right behind you.
He's just gonna pop up out of nowhere,
dude. Yeah, but we're always trying to build these teams to go pro, and with the Jesters, we're at the same point, the exact same point I've been with a lot of teams where you just win World Cup and it's done. You win, you're a pro player, or you're a pro team.
Yeah.
Of course, like all hell breaks loose, and for whatever reason, it doesn't go according to plan, and then when you don't win the tournament, you have to win. That's when the band like plays the gig that they needed to bank on, and no one shows.
Yeah.
That's exactly how it is for it was. I don't know how it is for divisional teams now. I'm sure it still is that way, but we didn't win. So the team was still going to go, but then Sauceman wanted to go pro, and he had an opportunity to go play for Vicious, and he went and did that, and that was incredible. But the only downside is, and I don't have any ill there's no issue between him and I at all for how this happened.
Yeah.
But he didn't tell me he was going to go leave. So I found out. Yeah, it stung. But I mean, now I've done it to people. I get it. Like I understand.
Yeah.
It comes around and goes around. But he didn't tell me, and so it caught me by surprise. And then I started shuffling, and I went and tried to play for Xfactor for a little bit. And
did you try out? Did you try out for them and made it right away, or was it kind of a process?
No, it was right away. I went to the tryout, but I mean, honestly, it was more like a.
Was that the roster?
You want to?
Was that the roster year?
It was years before. I wish I did. I was there for the roster. I was on the team for the roster.
That's right. That's what I remember. Okay.
Yeah, Jesse was coming up through that series, and Zach Wake. But no, this was like 2009. This was in the dark ages that Grayson refers to of Xfactor, and Alex wasn't really involved. So Alex was really. He's like one of the best owners in paintball. A team owner, like one of the best in paintball, if not the best. And he's given me tons of opportunity. So, and he's given tons to everybody, yourself included.
Yeah.
He's a great guy. Things just didn't work with me and the team at that era. So I played the first tournament of the year with them, and that was 2010. And then quit the team and started playing for Texas Storm. And then similar thing, built this team up with Mark Johnson, my buddy TJ Danner, and a bunch of other guys. Same story. We're winning or doing well, top 2, top 3, then World Cup, no funding. So the Texas Storm debunked. And, Sauceman was in a position the year before to go pro, and it was like, it's his time. I was in the fork of the road where it was my time, and I had to make a really tough decision to leave my friends and leave people that I worked really hard for to go pro or to do what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I did that, and then I went and played for Xfactor for 2 years, and had a great time with them. So that's like, in short, my upbringing.
It's
pro,
yeah.
And then pro's a whole other debacle.
Well, I mean, it's good, man. That's the thing is that those experiences, those life experiences, and those paintball experiences build your character.
Absolutely.
And that can go, man, really 50-50. That can go either direction, because if you think about it, life is just a bunch of choices that you make and decisions. Okay. And if you would have made one decision, not necessarily the wrong decision, but a different decision, could be somewhere completely different. No,
that's totally, that's spot on for pretty much everybody. Mm-hmm. But for me, at least the way I've looked at things, the decisions I've made or had to make were a bunch of decisions, just how you said, where it's like not wrong decisions, but totally alter your surrounding and, what people may think and all that jazz. And for a lot of time, I was making decisions out of like, I always put the right intent out there and decisions. What was the right thing for me and other people, but I definitely for a little bit there I was making decisions out of fear of what people thought, and the way, not like the public, like realistically the public's one thing and they don't really know, especially for paintball, like pro paintball players, like the public sees a glimpse, even more, like less now than before when you had Dirter and a bunch of media like companies making like almost like lifestyle material, like the movies and all the, all those things. You got to see more of players and like it's like now I feel like a lot of people just see Houston Heat, Impact, Xfactor, and a bunch of Ironmen. All these teams are heavily funded, and they don't see the decisions that like us as people have to make. Yeah. I never feel like that's accounted for. People like, especially Mouse and myself are probably the easiest people to pick on for team hopping. And there's just like, Mouse on a team. He was on 5 teams one off season. Meters on no team. Wonder how long. Dude, you have no fucking clue what the hell we're doing or what we're going through. You have no clue. And sometimes it's out of greed. Sometimes it's not. You have no clue though. But with that little rant being said, it's important to make those decisions and not be afraid of any of those things. Like, I don't regret any of the decisions I made. Other things I could have done differently? Absolutely. I'm 24, dude. Yeah. I made a bunch of dumb bonehead decisions recently, like as of yesterday, as of today, I made dumb decisions. So like when in paintball, you're being criticized for something you love and like, this thing that you just give everything to and you're criticized for your decisions. It's like, what? Mm-hmm. But I get it. I get it. There is accountability and there is a ton of things to be said, but I don't know. I think it's interesting.
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean. And, thinking about it, like, on our level, I mean, let's even take Ryan Greenspan with all the followers and everything that he has, or anybody that's, extremely popular in paintball. Yeah. They're looked under, I would say, some kind of magnifying glass, right, on what they do and everything that happens. But imagine being a true professional athlete in the NHL, NBA, NFL, which you are under a microscope of any little single thing that you do, and you have, like, I can't imagine the pressure, and I can't imagine, like, I've played Sundays, I played World Cups, I've played all these tournaments, and for me, and it might, those athletes or even musicians playing on stage in front of, hundreds of thousands of people, whatever, might have the same feeling where it's like, you kind of lose track of everybody. But just me thinking about, if I were to have played college and I would have got drafted and been in this huge stage, like, where millions of people, will not like any decision you like or you make, whether it be this one.
You're compensated. You're compensated for those decisions. That's the difference in what we do and what they do. Is like all the pressure too, like all the pressure of going to practice, and just like the strains on your like emotional, mental life as being a pro at anything.
Yeah,
you're supposed to be like compensated for that. And what we do, we're not, or we're at least not to the point where it's like, I know for me, it's not
life changing. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's like a big thing that I didn't know if we're going to get to that, part of it. Or I still don't know if we're going to get to like the deep core of what we're doing, but like,
oh, we can.
That's the thing I've been wondering. That's changed me the last 3 years. It's like when I came in, I saw paintball with prizes that would change your life. Like you're playing for 50 grand or like cars or stuff like that. Things that you could. It's never about the prize that you do something. It never is. But the difference is like, can we at least get something? Like, can we did get something.
Yeah.
Can we at least get something now? Because what I'm doing now is you're asking me to sacrifice. Like last year, the way the scheduling was done was so poor, and they've corrected it now. It's awesome now. But last year, just for your archetype paintball player that wants to be like an aspiring pro player, you want to be Oliver Lang, you want to be, Greg Sewers, you want to be like, you want to play for the Ironmen, have a contract, have all these things and responsibilities. Well, you got to go play and do these things like those guys do.
Mm-hmm.
And I was totally ready for that, totally cool with that. I've been doing that, but the time that you're gone, when you actually pay rent, and when you have a relationship and you have family or any type of responsibility, even dogs, and you have to go train 2 weekends before an XL tournament, and then immediately after that, get on a plane to go play in Europe. So I'd be gone for like a month minimum, and I even moved to a different, closer location to be next to my American team.
Yeah.
And it still was impossible. And it wasn't impossible for the scheduling. It was impossible for the money. Even if you win every one of those tournaments, like what Impact's doing, which is amazing, and it's setting the tone. And I encourage Impact to do what they're doing. Because if you don't, then you're a liar, like one. And you don't know how champions are. And that's everything they're doing is respectable, and I'm with it. But even in that, the money that they make isn't enough money for Demetrius Ninios to live. Like, it's not how Dimitri wants to go about living the rest of his life.
Yeah.
I've experienced enough of that. And I've been doing this for like 14 years. And I got in at a young age where I didn't have to be responsible for a lot of things. But now that I am becoming responsible for things, or at least seeing that I want to go do other things, have other parts of my life, it's crazy, man. It's nuts. Like the $12,000 that Impact just won at Vegas doesn't do a thing for anybody. Like, it's not a life-changing, the money aspect, the winning that changes your whole life. If you win one of those things, I'm not taking anything away about the accomplishment. The accomplishment,
the experience itself is
priceless.
Exactly.
Priceless. But for us to be professionals and commit my life to this, I need to be compensated for more. In that fashion. If you want that level of dedication, I need to be respected in financially that level of dedication.
That's the biggest thing, man. I feel, and I say this a lot, the average professional paintball player is the last on the totem pole.
Yeah.
Because we are replaceable. I mean, it is what it is. We're replaceable. No matter who we are, especially in the sport of paintball, we are replaceable because some hungry kid will, eagerly step in and just play to throw on a jersey and say, I played for this team and here I am. You know what I mean? So it's like, But where
are those kids? That's the one thing I want to interject.
Yeah.
Where are those kids? Show me those kids.
Fuck if I know.
People always talk about that. Let me see the kids, because I was one of those kids, and I will be like in your face about this. Show me the kids, dude. Show me a kid who wants to take a pro player spot that has the skills to do that.
Instead of talking shit on the internet, or
at least like the drive. Show me something. I see a ton of kids blowing my shit up or talking shit about something, about what they can do or what they've done or any number of those things. But, bro, I've watched the divisional stuff. Dude, when I was with AC and Greg and I built AC, I saw hundreds of divisional players. Mm-hmm. And we brought probably, dozens of people in to like a high level, but to play pro, the people that we brought in were already pro players. And of that, there's been Nathan Roberts played a little bit, like got his feet wet in pro, and then got his feet wet and got out. He didn't want to do it. Mm-hmm. Totally cool. Ryan Hall, who I don't even know that well, but he's awesome. Like, he's a great player, and he's straight up, and I respect the hell out of that. And Greg likes him, so usually the people that Greg likes, I'm usually on that wagon. But there's really not much else. Like, young kids, I don't know. I don't see them.
Same thing in Chicago, man. Like, you should see Badlands whenever we go and practice. There's nobody watching. Everybody's doing their own thing. Nobody's. But is it the paintball itself? Is it knowing what professional paintball is? I mean, is that what's maybe people are like, well, if we're on here and you know what's going to happen is people are like, well, you guys get all this shit and you compensated for it. You get free gear, free paint, all this other shit, and you're still bitching. Yeah, exactly.
10 years.
It took me 13, 14 years to do this, and I can bitch about it because I've been through it, and I want to make it better for the kids that are going to come up and try and dedicate their life to do this, because that's what I did for the 14 years is I dedicated my weekends where I could have spent with my family or I could have spent with my friends doing this or that. But no, I went to the paintball field and I busted my ass and I went to school and I did all this other shit because I wanted to turn pro, because to me, in my eyes, at least back then, it looked like all the pros were it. They could walk up to like, whatever it was, whatever sponsor, and be like, boop, 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 boop. And it was just, and I understand the economy, and I know all that shit. But the thing is, even taking it back to the impact thing, that $12,000 probably goes to the team, because it's not like Bart needs that money.
Oh, no, but even when it goes to the team.
But imagine a lower end team, though, gets that $12,000. I guarantee the team owner's like, hey, I got to get some of my money back, because, like, if let's say, I'm trying to think of a team. I don't want to put anybody out there or anything, but let's just say Rennick, for instance. If and when we win a tournament this year, I can't even think of the thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars that he's put into this, and for him to have a chance to maybe have a little bit back and be like, I fucking understand, man. I know exactly. I know exactly what you're going through.
Yeah. Out of all the tournaments I've been a part of winning or like getting compensated for, I think there's been maybe one time, maybe two times where they actually took the money away from the players. And that's the double end of it. Even if like Rennick or whoever it is takes the money back at the $12,000 for the owner, it's like, okay, cool deal. And when they give you the money, it doesn't make it any different. It's a $900 or $1,000 that you get to use doing whatever. I know no one's like putting that money into their 401k or like, it's not a life-changing amount of money, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that it needs to be. I'm not saying anything like that. Just would be nice if we structured it to have more incentive, to maybe have like a kid want to come up, or maybe like us want to work harder or something. I don't know. There needs to be some sort of incentive for what we're doing, because it's just dumb. Like it's just silly to be like, so wait, why are you going over here? To fight over $12,000, and you don't even get all $12,000. You get $1,000 of that, and of that $1,000, you spent two weekends practicing that you could have made. You doubled your money working like a minimum wage job. I don't know. That stuff is just recently like resonated when I'm just like, man, the direction. I believe in this. I still believe in this so much, but the direction, and that's what was cool listening to the two podcasts I listened to recently of yours were Justin Rapikos and Bart Yakimex, and they were both extremely profound and incredible, accurate information from both of those guys.
Yeah.
And I know J-Raps was later, but I wanted to listen to his because that is a intelligent individual, and I share a ton of the same opinions as him. So he nailed it. Like,
yeah,
go listen to those two if you want to know where I'm at on things.
Yeah, and you know, thinking about it now too, it's like, I truly believe this. I don't just think it. You know, a lot of teams, I feel now, the nostalgia to play for them is now gone, and it's more like, you know, this is what I think is people coming up now are like, well, you know, I know I'm from the Chicago area, or I know I'm from the Texas area or whatever, but I kind of want to, you know, drive towards playing for Impact because they get paid. I mean, but because it's so lopsided, because, you know, but it's the top 1% that get paid. Everybody else is an average player for the most part. You know, so
totally.
And it's sad to see it that way.
Yeah, it's a very fickle thing.
Paintball is a fickle bitch.
It's a fickle thing. But, I mean, I love it. I love the fucking game more than anything. And I love the people. And I love the things that matter about the game. Those things still matter. It's just, we have, there's an outlet. There are people in position to hear us. And there is things that need to be shifted and done. Just straight up.
Yeah.
And that's the direction it needs to go in. At least for the sanity of committing time to this for so long.
Yeah.
It needs to grow. You need to have some growth. And it doesn't even need to be the prize money. It can be anything. There needs to be some growth. The PSP was built on something just like a 5-year sustainability plan. Where it's like, we can sustain to keep the league around for this long. And when I heard that, I was like, the word is sustain. Oh my God! And that was a number of years ago.
Yeah.
But when I heard the word was sustain, and that's my industry leader, that's the guy who's, you know, in a way paying my checks. Oh my God! I'm a young guy. I'm not committing to sustain.
Yeah.
I'm committing to grow and to make something, not to sustain.
That's what was good.
And that's something that I feel like we all believe in. You know, that's what motivates all pro players, is obviously to win, but everyone is fighting for the bigger picture. That's underlying thing, common ground for all pro players.
And I think that's what I really liked when I heard Bart talk about it. When he was talking about having, you know, he not only wants to grow the sport itself, but he wants to grow the league. He wants the experience to be great across all boards. He wants to sell the sport to, you know, incoming outside sponsorships and try and get the sport big. I mean, the biggest thing that I heard, and I was talking to a few people about this, was the whole Facebook thing and the YouTube thing of them and how big it was, and trending and shares and all this shit.
Let's throw it on Facebook. Twitch, why don't we, you know, I brought Twitch up so many times. I used to be, for people that don't know, I used to be really proactive in shaping our sport. You know, I really fought, went to some meetings, really got, you know, my opinions out there, and gave honest opinions and structure and ways about doing the suggestions I was giving, not just the bullshit. We need a 15-minute X ball, blah blah blah. Shut up, dude.
Right.
You're wasting your opinion saying shit like that. How about you think for a little bit and come with some cause and effect? What if we implement this to achieve this? And here are the ways I believe we can achieve that aren't cost effective, that are cost effective, not costly on anybody, not the consumer, not the industry. Those are conversations that need to be had. I get it costs money to have a free thing. Makes sense.
Yeah.
But Twitch is a very positive avenue. Facebook's a very positive avenue. Even if it doesn't, the return investment is not supposed to be immediate for any of it.
Yeah.
That's what I just never understand. It
generated hundreds of thousands of views. I mean,
why are we fighting for this pond? There's just so much I really just never understood. Why isn't the market attack Asia stronger? Why don't we have tournaments structured into different parts of the world? They're doing a lot of these things now. But I feel like there's just major markets that we're just not tapping into, and people will tell me some bullshit reason they heard from an anecdotal story of Dave Youngblood and somebody else why things don't work. Well, I'm telling you, you're wrong, and you don't know because you're not in the rooms or not in the conversations I've been in or heard, you know. And even in those conversations I've been a part of, I know there is like fugazi in it, where it's like, no, we can do that. We can until we're stopped. Like, you can advertise on Facebook until you're stopped. Just do that. Like, keep going until they yank it down for like the paintball gun. What, you know, things like that just frustrate me. And we're an industry that fights to be professional when everyone's a friend anyway. You know, all the drama and theatrics in this industry are because people's relationships are too close to begin with. So why are you striving for professionalism and marketing what's really just your dirty laundry? You know, like when the chaos happens in the at NXL tournaments in the pits and Go Sports is discussing, you know, blah, 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 blah. You were literally broadcasting just drama, drama. Why don't we actually commit to doing that the right way and broadcast our drama, like, for everybody to see and, like, make it intense and gritty the way, like, drama is, reality TV is. Like, that's what Planet Eclipse and a lot of those other, and I'm talking really fast, but a lot of those other media outlets I've had a lot of success in was creating drama and stories, even some that didn't exist. That is the point of theatrics and entertainment.
The suspense.
Like, people don't want to see, like, the J-Rab and Greg Pauly match, like, you know, little spit-off was awesome. I don't know if you saw that, but that was great. Yeah, dude, we need that. Like, come on. Bring that shit.
Yeah.
Bring that intensity, respectfully, of course. And, you know, J-Rab handled that situation respectfully. I'm sure Greg wasn't saying anything like that I wouldn't say in that same position, you know?
Yeah. But no, we were too worried about Archie's pelvic thrust and how entertaining that was.
Even that has room. Even the twerk, pop, lock, and drop it has, like, room. But in other, like, so the people who are doing paintball right, I'll name them off. It's Carl Markowski, Barry DiGio, selling the game right. Like, these are all different avenues, right? Ryan Dizon, Brad Baldwin's doing a great job with from inside the net. Ryan Dizon's doing a great job with his vlog series. Trevor's doing a good job with his vlog series. You know, these are people that are literally doing more for the sport than the industry itself, as far as, like, broadcasting. And I'm not saying the industry needs to come and, like, take over that. I'm saying the furthest thing from that. The industry needs to get behind people like you guys and Ryan Greenspan. Like, dude, Ryan's put his whole life into putting the game on his back the entire duration of his career. And he has brought paintball places that no one else has brought it. And this dude, I mean, he's still, like, fighting. He's still fighting for his sport to live. Like, what do you think's going to happen when he doesn't play anymore? He's going to be involved in the sport still. But, like, while we have him, while we have you, while we have these guys, like, I would say that if it wasn't me, I'd say the same thing about me when I was, like, fighting the fight. I'm inactive right now because I'm looking at my own life. I have this awesome apartment now. I'm living in Texas and trying to figure my own thing out. It's not my time to fight anymore. I fought for enough. Like, you guys got to fight now because you guys committed to your fight and, you know, you're broadcasting and you made something of it. And that's something to be proud of for all of you guys.
And really, and I thank you so much for that. But it's really what I want to do is bring everyone's opinion that has been shut out, or even if they've not been shut out. But I want to bring everybody's opinion to the table. That's my big thing. Is because now, you know, we can hear from a team owner or a team owner / league owner like Bart. But then also hear from a teammate like yourself, or hear from Greenspan, or hear from all of, you know, or whoever across the board. Like, I want to do some podcasts with the Elevation guys. Like, they had a great showing in Vegas. You know what I mean? So
there's room for all of it.
Exactly, and their voice should be heard. So that's what I want this platform to be. And, you know, everybody else has theirs. You know, Ronnie is about his travels and what he's doing. Like, for me, I'm trying not to have this be selfish, and podcasts, you know, at least this one, the way I'm formatting it is, it's not. It's really about the content of the people that I have on more than it is about me. You know what I mean? So that's how I want this to come across and how I'm trying to contribute.
Yeah, and I think it's awesome. I think And a big thing that I'm pretty sure is Matty Marshall that told me like my rookie year or somewhere along the line, that you got to tell your own story. You know, like you have to. It's not like it's awesome that we have this podcast, and you know whoever's sitting on this seat can say whatever they want to say and share their story. But this is only like an hour and a half. You have every minute of your life to tell your story, or at least share your story in some way, or at least make some effort to formulate a way of expressing your story. You know, like whether it's through the consistency, rapid fire of Instagram, whether it's vlogs of like Ryan's nature, whether it's a podcast of this nature, whether it's a podcast, Facebook, FaceTime, like paparazzi, Bear Digio style. Like, dude, these are all there, and they're all working in their own respective ways, and they'll only go better, like do better if more people support that and are open to people, you know, sharing their story, and it being okay, like to go out on a limb and have a video of yourself, like talking about your own shit, like your own day. But I feel like it's just so discouraged, and in our own little bubble, it's like, come on, dude, let this guy like take his pictures, let this guy take his little videos, let him, like, let you have your podcast, and while we let you guys do that, and we, you know, listen to it and watch it and do all that stuff, how about the industry, like, how about we get them involved too and show that there's value in this? There's more value in this than there is in the pursuit to fight for subscriptions to watch Go Sports. I'm a huge advocate for Go Sports. I am not a huge advocate for the fees and hurting our industry to support our industry. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
It never will. Yeah. I get it. I get why. It's just not going to make sense to me. Sorry.
Well, I think I understand that with production there's a cost, right?
Totally. Yeah.
But at the same time, with the services that we have available stream-wise, and it's just like, dude, you got to go dig the worm, and then you got to put it on the hook, and you got to throw it out there to see if you get a bite, right? So, I mean, that's a fishing reference, if nobody got that.
I feel,
but I mean, it's like you have to. This is just like anything. This sport in the realm of the universe is not a successful sport. You know, we've met this plateau. We've met this ceiling where we need to break through. And as soon as we get, you know, more and more eyes on it, then now when you have a conversation with somebody, you go, "Oh, you play pro? Oh, that's so cool. You know, I heard about paintball. I heard about this. I actually saw it here." You know, it's like you won't have the conversations where, "Oh, you play pro paintball? I've never heard of that before." You know, like, and that comes down to the Facebook stream, the YouTube stream. The curiosity is going to draw the eyes. That's going to be the huge thing.
Yeah, just imagine what it'd be like if you were able to show. Yeah, just in an easier way, like the videos of paintball, if it was so accessible as to Facebook as opposed to hunting down, or like what's even more specific is videos of yourself playing paintball. And that goes from the pro to like amateur players. But like it starts with it being on Facebook and it being like encouraged to post you playing paintball about, you know, whatever. Like when the NBA put the NBA on Twitter, like the reaction and views was insane. And they made the NBA did this, made their service a free service on Thursdays. And it was crazy. And it was trying to gauge like where Twitter was at. And that's like not really relevant. But what is relevant is the ability for anybody who's like a competitor to show them doing what they do. Dude, you sacrifice so much time away from your girlfriend to not ever be able to show her you doing what you do. Or like, you know, your friends or something. Unless it's like us where we're like, we go on Go Sports and hold on, let me show you. GoSports.com.
Yeah.
Oh, here's my login. Oh, let me scroll through. Here's my match. Fast forward. Okay, split. Like that whole process is too long.
The random person isn't going to do that. The random person is going to see it, you know, trending, streaming on YouTube or Facebook or whatever, and go, well, what the fuck is this? Oh, that's cool. I mean, that's.
You don't have to throw on the whole day, man. Just throw at least parts of every day
and leave it there.
And leave it there
because Go Sports pulled it. I mean, did you hear the numbers that they were getting?
No, I didn't.
hundreds of thousands of views, at least I want to say 15 to 20,000 watching at a time, 3 to 4,000 shares.
Yeah.
And then they pulled it after I think before or during Saturday they pulled the feeds and they pulled all of everything that they put on Facebook because they wanted you to go to subscribe. And that's what I heard. I didn't really actually see the numbers, but I know of people that went on there and seen the numbers themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and it was huge. I thought it was great.
Even if it's half those numbers or a third of those numbers, those are better numbers.
Absolutely.
So, and not only that, but you're broadcasting to, like, I think there's 8,000 to 9,000 active at one time. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure what the number is now. At one time, that was the number of subscriptions to Go Sports. Yeah. But I feel like that was a little high, to be totally honest, because this is full disclosure, Dimitri, now, where I really don't care. I'll tell you exactly how things are.
This is a Playing On podcast, man. You can talk about whatever you want to talk
about. Yeah. Dude, okay, get the fuck out of here, one. And two, you have to leave that on there. You have to leave it up. Mm-hmm. Because the people that viewed that aren't the 8,000 or the 3,000 or whatever thousand of subscribers you had. The people that watch that are by far not subscribers of your broadcast. Mm-hmm. And it just, I don't know. I gotta tread lightly, but
that's the thing too, man. It's, you know, the people that we know that are involved, we're trying not to hurt feelings, but at the same time,
it's not
if
out
I'm
of disrespect.
No, not at all.
Not. Yeah, I want to help you. Cena, I've known you forever. I have your phone number. I can call you right now. But dude, I want to help. That's all I'm trying to do. But I don't think me helping, because I have helped, I don't think anyone helping in this way is help. I think this is just another thing of sustainability, but we're not calling it that yet. And the thing is, what I don't want this to be is a thing about the negative things of paintball and the NXL, because they've done really good positive things, especially from the first year to this year now.
But if the negative things aren't pointed out, they won't get fixed. I mean, that's the thing too.
True. That's why I just said it's sweetly for like 20 seconds, and that's why the last like 40 minutes I've been yelling and pitching. But that's like a little way to protect myself, where I can say, okay, well, I did say. But no, really, man. If you want honest opinions and like productive, and someone who has outside industry experience in different fields of how things work and how to get the ball rolling, who's younger, more connected to this demographic of people, not only people, but like just overall, generationally, technology, you have to listen to those people, man.
Yeah.
You have to listen to our players. The people who have been doing this, and people always say that, we listen to our players. You haven't really listened to the right people. You haven't listened to people that have opinions that are actually trying to help. You've listened to the names.
Yeah.
I guarantee you there's a lot more productive people in paintball than the pro players. Mm-hmm. I bet you there's way more like suitable candidate to help formulate the best strategy to attack paintball in the amateur divisions than myself. You know, there just is. I think it requires an outsider's perspective, because everyone who's been involved has been a pro player or the money man, and those are the two personalities we've had. We haven't had like another, or just like a unique perspective or an honest perspective. It's all been honest, but for different driving forces.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that I have the answers, but or I'm not saying that I have the right answers, but I might have some solutions, you know, maybe, and they might not even be the right solutions, but at least I have some kind of experience where I can say I have ideas that might work. You know, I might have a different perspective than somebody else, and it, you know, it all depends on who's listening and how open-minded they are.
Totally. But while the power isn't in the hands of the players, and I don't think it ever will be. I don't think it ever should be. I think it should be somebody else's power. But
I don't want their responsibility.
Yeah, no, it's. Yeah. I don't think that's why. Well, that is why we're in the mess we're in now. Is because the sport was led by players, and the players made the decisions they felt that they needed to make, and the right ones at the time, but it just didn't, pan out the way it needed to go. for a ton of different reasons. But what matters is that we have avenues to reach other people, like your podcast, Ronnie, Trevor, Brad Baldwin. There's another guy, like Paintball Ruined My Life, that guy. Yeah. All these guys. Like, there needs to be more people like you. The Ryan Greenspan, obviously, just shout out. Always pin him up there.
Yeah.
But, these people we need more people like that. And it's, one day I'd like to be one of those people, but right now I don't, Right now it's about me wanting to play. But I think everybody, especially the divisional kids, they have a lot more power than you think.
Mm-hmm.
I really believe that. I feel that the power lies in the customer. So the customer gets to decide. I think if the divisional people were able to formulate respectful opinions as opposed to troll opinions, and then, which is like 90% of them, like, I don't know. But hey, I'm empowering you guys. I empower everybody to go, like, do the fight, or, at least share your narrative, share your experience. Not every experience is the same, whether it's pro players or other guys, whizball guys. There's so much room for paintball, and we've limited it to this format this is Special Robinson's phrase, but tic-tac-toe. And it is tic-tac-toe. It's getting better. It's more fun tic-tac-toe this year than it has been, but nonetheless, tic-tac-toe. 10-man's badass.
Yes. 10-man is super fun. You know what even is more fun than 10-man is 7-man.
7-man's fun too.
I love 7-man.
Yeah, you do.
So we were talking about drama earlier. Mm-hmm. Why and how Aftershock?
Well, at the end of 2017, late in the offseason, it was brought to my attention that I was no longer going to be playing for the Los Angeles Ironmen. And I don't really have much to say about that at all. That's not ready for public forum. Mm-hmm. There will be a time where that is, but it's not now. And so. And
I wasn't trying to get that out or anything.
No. I just.
I'm not going to put you on the spot.
Because if you're listening for that, it's not coming this time. But but I found myself in a place where I just wasn't happy. I committed to playing paintball, and it just wasn't right. There was nothing right about it, and there was a ton of different factors, and I had a lot of fun despite everything. But I moved to California from Texas. I moved down to my parents' home, got my own apartment, my first apartment, and did the paintball dream and lived it well, and it was awesome. But it wasn't my dream anymore. It wasn't Demetrius Ninios' dream to go play paintball at that point. It was Meter's dream, and Meter was like a kid. Mm-hmm. And Meter is now not a kid. Meter is now, like, at the time, 23. And I made a bunch of decisions that I feel like I just got lost in what I was doing and why I was doing it. So I ended up retiring. I mean, quitting. Really, it's quitting. I quit for a little bit.
Yeah.
But it was the most important thing to my love for the game and my life. And I don't even think I quit. I didn't quit playing paintball. I just stopped. I made it, like, honest with myself and said, dude, I think you're not going to, like, I really don't think you're going to play professionally this year. And that was, like, I can't express to anybody. And if anybody, the people that do know me, you will know that to say that is, like, the most painful thing.
It's hard.
It's the most painful thing. And I could break down in tears talking about it. And I had a tremendous support group during all of that. And a lot of it really wasn't about the Ironmen. A lot of it was just about, like, where am I at now? Like, why is this happening to not the golden child, but, like, just the kid who had it all. Had everything aligned for paintball, like rookie of the year. Even not that shit matters, but, like, accolade wise, like, you had it. Done.
Recognition.
You kept going. Yeah. It's just affirmation. Boom. I did that. Win World Cup. Boom. We did that as a team. And then the rest of my career. And I finally got to a place where there just wasn't, I didn't identify with anything. I didn't identify with a champion. I didn't identify with myself. I didn't identify with the team I was on. I didn't identify with a lot of things. I was confused as hell, lost as hell. And yeah, I told myself I wasn't going to play anymore. Easy. It was difficult as hell to say that. But once I said it, the weight was gone. And it was like, oh, wow. So this is what it's like to not have all that pressure. Okay, well, what do I do now? And then that lasted like 2 weeks. And in those 2 weeks, I just worked out like every day. And I still play paintball. I played 10-man tournaments. And, I did all sorts of stuff. But in those 2 weeks, I realized that, holy shit, like the competitor of me is not done doing this. And it's not even like, and Mouse and I have talked about this before, it's not even like, and this might sound awful, but if it resonates for the people that it's supposed to resonate with, it's worth saying. So I'll say that. And if it doesn't resonate with you, then this isn't your narrative to follow. Full disclosure, this isn't your narrative. But my relationship with paintball, playing professionally, is true, like, I mean, it's torture and it's love, lust, and every bit of emotion, but it is extreme. It's not like I'm going to go play pro paintball, like, da-da-da-da-da. Like, when I'm really playing, it's fucking, I'm here, and that's what it is. Like, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
And I wasn't that guy for a while. I wasn't that guy for 2 years, dude. Like, honestly, genuinely can say that. I was that guy in flares of moments. Like, when Mouse and I got to play together on Infamous, I was that guy. I was there, and I was hurt. I was hurt as fuck. I had a torn ACL, had a torn ab deal going on. But I was there. And I was there because I wanted to be there for him. And that's one of my, like, when you play with people who are passionate and like-minded and have the same agenda as you, whether that's winning, whether that's just playing, there's totally different agendas. But as long as the agendas are the same or similar, you are confident and at least fulfilled in what you're doing.
The best comes out of you.
Yeah. And it wasn't there for me for a long time. And it had nothing to do with the people I was surrounded by. To a degree, it did. Like the energy you bring to the game definitely matters. If I feel like that and everybody else on my team also feels like that, and you see the results that happen, then you kind of realize, wow, these guys aren't really here to win. They were here to win, and then they got, bored or whatever.
Now it's just a vacation.
Soft. Now it's just them being there. And I moved to do that. And I didn't I didn't hold up to my end of the bargain, but I don't think anybody did either. So like after all that, I really just was, like I said, just lost. So now where I'm at with Aftershock and the way it all came about was, I played 10-man with Todd Adamson. Todd Adamson's listening to me talk. And for those that don't know, Todd Adamson is an OG badass dude.
Poopy.
So yeah. When Poopy gets to talk to you in like peer to peer without having any, like, Todd and I, our relationship's fairly new, but the respect and what you see in other people is there off the bat. I feel like if you're like the same type of beast of those people, it's like, all right, what's your problem? Okay, no, you just got to go do this, and then you're like, oh shit, okay, that's what I'm gonna go do. I don't even know you. This is what I'm gonna go do. Yeah, that's what you're gonna go do. And that's kind of what happened for me. Todd Adamson listened to me, and he sent me a text and said, hey, Aftershock's looking for 2 guys. And it's just like as general as that. And I literally was like, oh, yeah, crazy. Wonder who those 2 guys are going to be, because it's not me. Like, in confidence.
Yeah.
In confidence. No, I'm not playing. And then, through that relationship, I played with Rennick and Danny Love and Billy Saransky and all the legends of Aftershock. And so once that idea started getting circulated, wow, Pax and Meter are, they're available, or they're not available, but they're not on a team.
Yeah.
You could tell that they were like, let's go get these fucking idiots. Like, neither one of these dudes is done yet, especially Meter. Like, you could tell that that's not where they were at. And it was a hell of a journey to show up on Sunday, because what happened is I was pretty much day to day with Aftershock, because I talked to Rennick and I talked to Bruno, laid it all out, everything I just disclosed with the podcast, and they're like, all right, well, hey man, if it works, it works. If not, how about you just try? Why don't you just see what happens? And I was on Xbox Live with, like Mouse and Nick Law and people, and I was like, every day they're talking to me and they're hearing me go one side, the other of like what I want to do, and then they're like, just go do it. Why not? And I was like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm done. I quit. It's over for me. I just play PUBG now. That's all I do.
Yeah.
And when Paxton came in, I dropped him off Saturday. I was like, fuck. This is bad. So I had to leave anyway. I just moved into my apartment, but I was like, thank God. I was stoked to drive away. I was like, I can't talk to anybody. I need to get out of here. Like I saw Greg, I saw Bruno, talked to Bruno. That was already enough emotionally for me to not want to like, ooh, this is bad. And Sunday I came out and played, and what we talked about at the beginning of this podcast about the energy and how you and I interacted and the team interacted, JJ, LJ, Mike Kerr, Stapula, Pez, all the guys, Bruno. You guys really, really made an impact. For me, impacts. It really did change. Well, you let us be us, really.
Mm-hmm.
You let us be us, and we let you guys be you guys, and it literally came together really well. But even then, it was scary. Even then, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And, it's the Sunday before the tournament. Is that right, ethically, for me to come onto the team the Sunday before the tournament to play? I don't know. That's pretty fucked up. But, unique situation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been nothing but that. It's been a unique situation, and it's been really fun. In the short stint, it's only been, total of 6 days I've known the guys on the team. It's time spent as a teammate. But that's really the true way of how it came about. It was that loose and effortless almost.
Mm-hmm.
It was definitely a ton of effort, but it was effortless once the show was there. Once once everything's put up and the lights are on, it was easy.
Yeah.
At least that's how I interpreted it. It was yeah. And then Pax and I, we're our own little duo. That we came in together, and so it's obviously the way the team is. It's the team, and then Paxton and me. But it really was a seamless transition. We hung out with everybody. Everyone was a part of Chicago Aftershock.
Yeah.
It wasn't 2 people versus 7. It was Chicago Aftershock, and that's what I'm really. Proud's not the word, but I guess appreciative of the scenario and the situation we're in. It's cool.
Yeah. I think the potential is amazing, and I think it would not have been the same if we would have had Pax and not you. If we would have had you and not Pax, it would be a totally different story.
I agree 100%.
Yeah, and 100%. Man, I think it's great. I think it's gonna be really, really good. And I'm excited to play paintball as well. And I just rooming with you and Pax, I can tell that both of you and Pax especially are extremely excited to play not only paintball itself, but for Chicago Aftershock and for Bruno.
Absolutely.
And it's just I'm so excited for this season, and this season to me really, really means a lot. So I just want it to work, man. I just spent so many seasons of just being this close, right? Just being this close, and
yeah,
I'm tired of being that close.
Yeah, but it's a conscious decision. It takes everybody on your team to know, not even to know. You don't need to know shit, because I'll tell you straight up, you don't know what the hell is going to happen with teams, or especially until the bricks are laid. You don't know where your team's at,
mm-hmm.
At each tournament. You're a good team, and you do get to a level where you're going to make it out of your prelim bracket. You get that comfortable, and you're okay, yeah. But of course, you do eventually get slapped off that pedestal.
Mm-hmm.
So Impact right now, they're fighting for all their games, but they're operating at such a high level across the board that people don't understand. And maybe I only understand because I've been a part of teams where we were able to create a similar flow, but not for as long. Definitely not for and as consistent. It's really impressive, and it takes a lot as a competitor to admire another competitor. But you have to when things are going that well for them.
Yeah.
And then you have to understand and see what it takes. Dude, your ego's the team. Like for our situation, it would have been very easy for myself or Paxton to come in and have like some sort of an ego that, like, not even like us intentionally, just a player coming from another team, totally different area, coming into a new environment. Like, just if he talks differently, the ego might be like, I don't like this guy, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you're introducing two guys to a team, that's crazy. It's hard to do. It's a hard balance to figure out unless they have the answer to those issues, right? And that's what we're here to see. We're here to see if we have the answer to that.
Yeah.
But what's going on with Impact is so that's what happened. They got all these guys. They got Mouse, they got Laval, they got J-Rab, they got Dave. And then over time, they've curated the flow process and getting everyone on the same page and like, just, all right, shut the fuck up. This is what we're going to do. You have your opinion. Let's hear it. Okay. Maybe we'll implement that later. But everyone's contributing a little bit. And then when everyone's contributing the little bit they need to, because before Impact was very loud and crazy because they're all trying to yell their opinions.
Yeah.
And now they've been able to tone it down and where it's just accurate information is provided. And then each player knows the next point they go out there, they need to get better and increase the level of play. And it's that easy, but that fucking hard. And that's what people don't get. No one gets that unless you've been a part of it or been on the other end of it.
But so anybody could win a tournament. I mean, that's the thing too. Anybody at any time.
But that's why you have to chase that process and not the process of winning a tournament. Because you can put your heart and soul into winning a fucking tournament. You got 5 of these to win, buddy. And I'm not saying that you can slouch on any of them. I'm saying you have 5 to gain from. So like the way people used to look at it was you get better, you try and win Chicago, you get better. But this was always the 4th event. It was always the event that everyone sucked at. And then everyone would come correctly for World Cup. And that's how, like, you were a part of teams where that was like the mindset, like excessive and things where it was like, all right, yeah, these are all cool, but we got to win this fucker. We have to be better at this.
You're only as good as your last event. Yeah.
But the thing is, if you get so caught up in the pursuit of winning all these individual tournaments and you're not at that point yet, like Impact's at the point where they're chasing these wins. That's what they're doing. That's what you get to do when you earn the right to be at that level. Until then, you're fighting to win a tournament or get better to win some tournament, but not the tournament right in front of you. You can't be so like all in on the tournament in front of you if you're not ready for it.
Yeah.
Like if we did that for Dallas or for Vegas, we're not ready for it, bro. Like the team's not ready. So don't do that. You got to come in differently and come in looking to learn and grow from that. Not losing and then being pissed off and like, oh, we had the worst fucking tournament ever, which is the attitude you see so common, like in all the divisions and all of the mentalities. That's not the mentality to have. You have to be the best player at the tournament. Of course, that's your job That's your job to be the best player at that tournament. But to lose your, the drive, to get burned out from tournament to tournament is stupid. Yeah. And that's what happens to a lot of, at least from what I know for pro teams, that's what happens to a lot of pro teams. You'll work so hard to win this one tournament and then it doesn't go your way. And then you try for the next one the same way and you don't get the results that way. And you never change. You never change your mentality. You never change your structure of drills or
you're just saying maybe the next one.
Yeah. Let's get 120 cases and practice this way for this one. I guarantee you can achieve that with lesser quality players and lesser amount of time on the field if you do it properly and you just break it down the way it needs to be broken down and have the conversations that need to be had to build successful teams. But nobody wants to do that. Nobody wants to do that. Everyone wants just to throw money at stuff and practice from sundown or sunrise to sundown. It's like I've done that and had success doing that, and I've also had success not doing that, and it was way better the way we didn't have to grind so inefficiently. It's not about the grind; it's just the efficiency of it.
Yeah,
but that's what I got for teams wanting to emulate, like us. Like we're a competitor, but to be real, everybody's chasing those guys. Xfactor is nipping at their heels, but dude, Xfactor is a great team, and it's still just really fucking hard right now.
But in a way, so are we.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing.
Absolutely.
That's where it comes down. You focus on winning the gunfight, then you focus on winning the point, then you focus on winning the match, then you focus on winning the next match, and then you focus on winning the tournament. I mean, that's just how it's got to go.
It just keeps going. But if you get so stressed out about the tournament, like winning the tournament, and you're in the prelims, you're trying to win the tournament, you're going to fucking lose every time. You're going to be heartbroken. You're going to hate paintball. You're going to be one of those dorks on Facebook saying, paintball sucks. I'm quitting paintball every 3 months. And like, oh, gear bag sale. It's like, you know the guys. You see the guys. I'm calling those guys out now. I'm calling, here's my gear bag sale. Dude, you've had like 8 gear bag sales this month. Like, what's the deal? Maybe you're just approaching the game wrong. But that's for them. That's my little nugget for you guys.
Well, man, I thank you so much for coming on here. I gotta wrap it up, and I gotta get to bed, man. I'm an old man. I got work in the morning. I got jiu-jitsu tomorrow. I'm still sore from yesterday, from the drills we were doing yesterday.
That's good.
Yeah. Like I tell anybody, man, if you want something to help you out personally as well as even in paintball, and I think it's super relatable, try jiu-jitsu. Like, even there's a lot of places that even have free trials.
He's not wrong. I'm getting into it.
Should, man. At least find a place. Yeah. And tell me what you think. You gotta honestly tell me, because I'm diving deep. I'm like finding myself. Like, don't get me wrong, I do my homework still on paintball, but I've been playing paintball for a long time. So, but I find myself like at times, like I'm like, all right, well, how did I get caught in that arm bar? And then I started thinking about like how what I could have done differently. But that's how paintball was when I first started playing paintball, and at times now, when
you can't be guilty for feeling that pressure, because I had a very similar thing through different passions of mine. But like you have to go attack that with the same intensity you attacked paintball, because you can still attack paintball that way. You're still doing it. If anything, you use jiu-jitsu as a strengthening tool to paintball. Yeah. You have to, go master this thing too, and then bring your lessons from that and apply it in paintball. Yeah. Like that's, you have to go do, you can't just do, just to end everything, you can't just do paintball. Like you can, I applaud it, but it's such a limiting thing to do. I'd say the same thing if you committed to school, committed to your work, committed to anything. If you're just going to commit to one thing and eat, breathe, sleep it forever, that's really limiting. You should just of course, master the craft, of course, but don't feel guilty if you feel like a pull to look at something else and at least learn from it. Learning's like the tool that you never expire on. Yeah. You can always learn, and you can always use that same tool in a different scenario from whatever it is you learned and apply it. So go keep thinking about jiu-jitsu. See what you can bring to practice.
Well, dude, if you go and do the free trial and you try it out, let me know what you think, and I want your honest opinion. But I feel like for me personally, for someone who is hungry to learn anything, it is something that you can't lie to yourself about. With paintball, I feel there's areas where you can really fib. You can really put it out there, like.
But that's if you're gonna be one of those people, man.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be one of those people, then it's not even for you. This whole thing's not even for you.
And that's the thing, man.
Like conversation-wise.
In like in jiu-jitsu, like the other person will let you know, and the other person will put your ego at the door for you. Yeah. And that's.
Let me just get rid of your life real quick.
But don't get me wrong, man. I love paintball, but I love a challenge regardless. And I think that's why I like you and Pax on here, because I think it's a new challenge and it's a new chapter, and I'm excited for the season, man.
Yeah, same thing, man. I'm really genuinely excited to play paintball with you guys.
Hell yeah. Any shout outs or anything you want to give before we head out?
Shout out to Bruno, shout out to Rennick, shout out to Todd Anderson, shout out to Mike Paxton, shout out to Carl, shout out to Planet Eclipse for sponsoring us again. They've been a long-term sponsor of mine, and I'm really excited to be a part of that family again. I really believe in everything that company does. So I know you're gonna shout them out eventually in your sponsors, but shout out to Planet Eclipse, shout out to GI. all my friends that supported me through all of this. Ultimate love and respect. And yeah, that's all I got. Demetrius Ninios signing off.
Sweet, man. Much respect, and glad to have you on, bud.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Demetrius, for sitting down and talking with me. I had a great time, and I'm really, really looking forward to the rest of the season. I'm excited. I'm excited with Shock. I'm excited to have you guys on the team. Let's do it. Here we go. All right, here's a shout out to our sponsors, Charm City Paintball. Like I said, if you guys find them on Instagram or Facebook, he always is posting up all his new head wraps and headgear that he is creating and making. And if you give him a little tickle, a little private message, I'm sure you could work something out with him and make a custom headband yourself. Mike is always looking to help customers out and create something unique. So make sure you head over there and shoot him a message. Get some custom headgear. This shit's awesome. Also brought to you by ckfightlife.com. Huge on laser engraving paintball markers, and if you call 951-219-5045, you can personally talk to Tony. He's a nice guy. And if you do that, you can tell him that Carl from the Playing On podcast sent you, and you would like some more information on this laser engraving business. And he can give you everything you need and point you in the right direction. Or if you want some paintball gear, they have that too. They also have jiu-jitsu stuff like gis and rash guards and shorts and all kinds of great stuff. So head over to ckfightlife.com and you can check out all the products. And last but not least, Planet Eclipse, the best paintball marker in the planet. In the planet? On the planet? On the planet. Anyway, Planet Eclipse, they have been nothing but amazing throughout the years and have pretty much been reinventing what the top of the line paintball marker is, and they've done that with the CS2. And if you head over to planeteclipse.com, you can check out all of the nasty markers that they have made, along with all of the soft goods that they provide. So thank you to all of our sponsors, and again, each and every time, I'm going to thank all of you guys for listening. Hopefully you're still listening this far. but thank you so much. Greatly appreciated. I'm glad I can get these stories out, and I'm super happy that you guys are enjoying the content. Makes me proud of doing it, and you know, I love it. I can't say much more than that. I love doing this, and I love the sport, and I love the people more than anything in the sport. So if you guys have any questions, comments, or if you just want to say hi, hit me up on Instagram, Carl_Markowski, or Facebook, Carl Microwave Markowski, and we could chit chat. You know, I try to write back messages fairly quickly, and yeah, I'm not that busy, but I am. But I'm not. You know how it works. But thank you guys so much, and we will catch you here again soon on the Playing On Podcast. Peace.